Welcome to Guysuco Roundup. I am Angela Abraham Parks. Guysuco's Agriculture Research Center is renamed National Biocontrol Laboratory, and its contribution remains noteworthy and significant in the transition to a green economy. Positive attitudes and show of commitment by the human resource factor stimulate optimism for a rewarding second crop. The Marketing and Trade Department brightens the corporation's pathway in cultural and heritage sugar tourism. Do stay tuned for more Guysuco Roundup.
From the very land that gave sugar around the world the name Demerara comes the finest quality of cane sugar, Demerara Gold. Enjoy the real thing from the original source, the rich, fertile Demerara coastline where sugarcane has been harvested since the mid-17th century. The result is here for you to enjoy. Wherever this unique sugar flavor is needed, Demerara Gold is the ingredient that will always create a stir.
Hello everyone. While management of the corporation describes as commendable the improved attendance record of employees, particularly in the Agriculture Department, the Industrial Relations Department has pledged continued dialogue with employees to boost confidence, bring reassurance, and build workers' morale. Over the last few years, the department's presence at pre-crop briefing sessions makes good of promises to meet with union representatives, shop stewards, and other employees of the estates. On the occasion of the World Food Day observance on October 16 came the announcement of the renamed Agriculture Complex, more specifically the Soil and Biosafety Research Facility, which will now be called our National Soils Testing and Biosafety Laboratory. Head of the facility, Gavin Ramnarine, reminds of the laboratory's role ahead of the certification of agriculturalists of both the Natural Soils Lab and estates who are now more proficient in the management of pest control operations.
Everything basically starts from the lab. The lab recommends the amount of limestone that has to go in every field after we till, because we analyze our soil, we make a recommendation, and it's through the diligence of the staff here that we will slowly get our yields back up, get more sugar produced, increase our income, and have a better quality life for not just the lab staff, but all Guyanese that work for the sugar industry. Every estate location has a subsidiary of Central Lab at its location. So basically they're a small version of us. We have the agronomists. The agronomists and the estates come under agri-research. Now, all the recommendations that we make is transferred to the agronomist. So it's a feedback, so we have an individual person representing us at each location. What happens is that they collect the soil samples, the leaf samples, they ensure it's in compliance, and they will send it to us. So this is why we have basically a subsidiary at each of the locations.
As with most testings that we do in agri-research, we utilize standards, either NIST standards or samples from the proficiency testing, seeing that agri-research is the only lab in the country to be a participant in proficiency testing in this country here currently, right?
And so, as it is called, the events change the intensity of our normal seasons, traditional seasons, right? The intensity and the duration, right? But of late, and this is the climate change aspect, the climate change influence. So I dealt with the weather, I dealt with the climate. This is the climate change aspect. Because of climate change, El Nino and La Nina episodes have been more frequent. This phenomenon, as we call it, is an ocean atmospheric phenomenon. So, for the ocean aspect, the parameter that's measured is sea surface temperature. The atmospheric is the Southern Oscillation Index. Now, for El Nino or La Nina or ENSO to occur or to happen, there must be the coupling of these two things, the sea surface temperature and the SOI. For El Nino, the sea surface temperature is 0.5 degrees Celsius and above. The Southern Oscillation Index should be negative.
Graduates, you've been charged by the registrar. So when you go out there into a residence home, you've been trained by the pesticide board, you've been trained by the expert. You must exercise what you've learned. I'd now like to welcome to the stage, and the audience, if you may please put your hands together for me, for the Deputy Permanent Secretary, Ms. Arita Henry, to give to the graduates the future address. Ms. Arita Henry.
I'm here this morning on behalf of the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture, who had an urgent meeting and so she could not make it to this awesome event. Nevertheless, I'll present to you her remarks. I'll just go ahead and read it. It is my honor to be delivering to you graduates a word of encouragement as you step out into the professional world of pest control. Pest control operators are important because many unwelcome insects visit or make their homes in residential buildings, industrial sites, and urban areas, to name a few. Some contaminate foodstuff, damage structural buildings, or infest habitats. Some inflict great economic loss. Others carry diseases or cause fire hazards, and some are just a nuisance, as we would commonly say. As you're aware, through integrated pest management, actions have been taken to control pests only when their numbers are likely to exceed acceptable levels. Any action taken is designed to target the troublesome pests while limiting the impact on other organisms and the environment. As professional pest control operators, I encourage you to remain current and informed. Practice what you preach, and remember, your practices today are for the health and well-being of all citizens. Thank you. So today I am pleased that you've been trained. I am pleased that you've been certified today. But I'd be more pleased if I know that when you leave here today, you take what you've learned and you put it into practice. And you look for ways of how you, even in your job, can protect human health and the environment, and how you can even contribute to the reduction of the use of highly hazardous pesticides. The program this year was conducted at the Guyana School of Agriculture. For the intermediate program, we had a total of, for the basic, we had a total of 39 participants, 37 of whom sat the exams, and 35 of whom were successful. Give yourself that this morning. The intermediate was attended by 16 participants. That's because you have to score at least 75 and above to go to the next level, right? Because you're going farther and deeper into the work of pest control application. The Ministry of Health recently put out their list of cancer cases in Guyana. There's an increase not only in the number of cases, in the types of cancers being found. Now there have been long linkages of pesticides and their cancer-causing properties. So how do we get there? We will not get to that stage of where the U.S. is in these developed countries if we don't understand that regulatory measures are necessary and important. They're there to protect our health and the environment. So for the pest control applicators today, one of the key things that you do is you work in homes, you work in schools, you work in hospitals, you work in an environment where your persons that are at risk are people, children, staff in institutions, and many others. And so that is why the training is very important for you. I'd like to stress today the ending part of that theme, reduce the use of pesticides. It's interesting that we would say that. You know, the pesticide board, I find it sometimes people would look at us and they'd smile. You're the pesticide board, how do you talk about reduce pesticides? It's kind of a unique concept. But it's there because while we regulate these chemicals, at the board we're always looking at measures to introduce lesser toxic pesticides. Currently in Guyana, for the first time, we're doing registrations of biopesticides. A lot of pesticides that come from organic products, like citronella, neem, and sesame seed oil, and many of these products, so that they can be made available to persons on the market. They are a lesser toxic alternative to those that are there. And one of the things we've done over the years is we've reduced the amount of pesticides that are registered in the very toxic class, the class 1s and 2s, to just about 3% presently being registered. We're continuing to work with the FAO and other international organizations to further phase out other highly hazardous pesticides that are currently registered for use in Guyana.
Second top student, who also would have attained a score of 98%, Mr. Mohamed Hussein.
The Marketing and Trade Department, which lights the corporation's path in cultural heritage tourism, has recorded successes of its own. The launch of Berbice Gold in Agriculture Month has since made strides entering the U.S. market and joining the range of value-added products. Commercial Manager Rama Prasad sat down with the Communications Unit team to assess both sugar and molasses sales.
At this time, our success story is a new brand that we have brought out into the market. We have launched the Berbice Gold. It has already reached the North American market.
And these are found in our supermarkets.
It is in our Guyana shop. It is also in some smaller shops based on based on the shop owners' product that we are proud of, and we are glad that we have it out in the market. And we will do whatever more we can to ensure that it reaches all the supermarkets locally. We also have an enhancement in our sachet sugars. The boxes, they have been new boxes. The design of the color and the outlook of the boxes. It's changed, but at this point in time, the content of the sachets are still the same. We'll come out with the new sachets in about a week or so from now, because all the materials that we were using for the current sachet is finished, and we are now moving to our new sachet, which is more user-friendly, as we wanted to capture for the Agri-Tourism Week. And this is going to promote our tourism, the cultural and heritage sugar tourism. The package would have all the package that we're offering plus options. As we had said earlier, we can tailor package to suit what our visitors, our customer needs.
On October 23, this department made its inaugural shipment of Berbice Gold and Demerara crystals to the United States of America, joining shipments of bagged and packaged sugars to Trinidad, Suriname, Tortola, St. Lucia, Nevis, and other parts of the Caribbean region. The corporation's involvement in both agriculture and tourism provides the experience needed to understand and appreciate the land and the people who live in it. We'll close this segment bringing you highlights of the ceremony for agriculture tourism.
Welcome to the launching of the Agri-Tourism Expo. We see agri-tourism in very simple terms, meaning using agriculture and the products of agriculture as the basis for tourism, meaning your farms, the produce from agriculture, the value chain processes. We see all of those as having the potential, as constituting what we can call the critical mass of the agri-tourism experience. AC Phillips is the Travel Industry Development Officer at the Guyana Tourism Authority. In fact,
innovative, roaring, entertaining, informative, creating linkages, something for everyone, Guyana's very own. It is against this backdrop of these phrases that it is my task to provide a glimpse into what you can expect at the upcoming Agri-Tourism Expo. The aim of the Expo is to create an awakening of how two of our main export sectors, which operate at most times independently of each other, can come together to create a bit of magic and some more green. Why green? Improved economic benefits for service providers, as well as using the two sectors as mechanisms for Guyana's Green State Development strategy initiatives. My colleagues at Guysuco, and they're now entering this wide and fascinating world of tourism as we know it, will be
offering up some heritage tours to the sugar estate, where you can actually go and have get a glimpse into a bit of Guyanese history to see how far we've come along, and those things that, even though technology exists today, some things that remain very much rooted in our culture and history. Come and learn some more about sugar. I think sometimes we take it for granted because we have so much of it and we know we can easily get it. But I think it's also a time for us, and this expo represents that, a time for us to reconnect, whether it be agriculture or tourism. And of course, tourism is all about learning about all the places that we have to visit and what Guyana has to offer.
This whole initiative began with the signing of a cooperation agreement in 2016 between Minister Noel Holder and the then Minister of Tourism, Catherine Hughes. The first fruit, so to speak, was the Coconut Festival. We went back to that cooperation agreement and we saw a commitment to the establishment of a whole agri-tourism sector. So we were in this room to launch the Expo, which is a component of that sector. And we're very privileged to have with us one of the signatories to that agreement that really launched this agri-tourism initiative in Guyana. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Minister Catherine Hughes.
I feel pride when I see the rich soils we cultivate that we all know will grow almost anything. We know that this land has always had agriculture as its mainstay. Over the years, the British, the Dutch, the French colonists ran profitable businesses from their tobacco, coffee, and cotton plantations, and from their coconut groves, their fruit orchards, and of course our sprawling sugarcane and rice fields. Today we benefit from our very enterprising businessmen and women who continue to diversify their farm produce. And we have a national research institute run by experts and a Ministry of Agriculture who believe that climate permitting, anything will grow in Guyana soils, even onions and turmeric. We are so blessed. Then we have our tourism industry that cuts across almost every sector of our economy. And we believe for some years now that our tourism product could be combined with almost any Guyanese productive industry to spice up the tourism experience in Guyana.
Minister of Business with responsibility for tourism, Minister Rajkumar will now give us his perspective on the Agri-Tourism Expo. Minister.
I'm very honored to join you here this afternoon to launch the Guyana Agri-Tourism Expo held on the theme linking agriculture and tourism for a greener future. This event represents an ongoing collaboration between the Ministries of Agriculture and Business following the signing of the cooperation agreement back in 2016 by Ministers Hughes and Holder. That agreement also gave us Coconut Festival in 2016. I would like to also congratulate the Department of Tourism, the Guyana Tourism Authority, the Ministry of Agriculture, and all the stakeholders for coming together to develop the idea of agri-tourism and using Agritourism Expo 2019 as a tool to sensitize and showcase the diversity and economic potential agritourism has in Guyana. It has long been recognized that Guyana has the potential to have a thriving agritourism subsector. We know that the agriculture sector plays an important role in the development and economic growth of our country, contributing 30% of our gross domestic product. It has helped to sustain the Guyana's economy for decades, providing employment and bringing foreign exchange to our country. We also know that tourism, the sector, has been making a significant contribution to our economy, bringing 62 billion to our economy in 2018. The growth in arrival has also been significant over the past few years, and we are projecting to receive over 500,000 visitors per year by 2025. So clearly, these are two high growth sectors, both of which are of great importance to national development. They also are aligned with the tenets of the Green State Development Strategy 2020, which is to promote an inclusive growth. Which is to promote green and inclusive growth. This Agri-Tourism Expo represents part of our efforts to link these two sectors that align well with each other to capture the full benefits from them. It is our expectation that this Agri-Tourism Expo will help to spur greater interest in agri-tourism. In addition to what Mr. Sinclair had said earlier, with only a minimum or no additional investment, our farmers can reap greater benefits, especially during out-of-crop season, where they can offer farm tours to supplement their farm income, and even allow stayovers to give visitors a taste of authentic farm life in Guyana. The timing of this expo is quite deliberate, as it will come during Agri-Tourism Week that straddles both Agriculture Month in October and Tourism Awareness Month in November.
And that's an update from our news desk.
This brings the curtain down on this week's program of Guysuco Roundup. Thank you for staying tuned and do join us again next time. I am Angela Abraham Parks. Goodbye.